Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to a very special and awesome version of Morning Joe with Christina and Brooke. You guys, it's been a morning over here. We can't
Oh,
wait to tell you all about it.
yes.
So many things happening. We're going to talk about one teeny tiny word. It's a one word topic, but so many things are tied to this really important topic. And the word of the day is sleep.
Can't live with it, can't live without it.
I know Joe has a lot to say on the topic. Out of here.
I hope we're not putting anyone to sleep right now since we're like, sleep,
Sleep.
sleep. I would love to start off today's conversation if that's okay.
That'd be amazing.
Great. So, I think we've discussed this to our viewers in the past. We share topics through conversation throughout the week. And this morning I texted Joe and Christina. I said, let's talk about sleep. Joe was like, huh? Sleep's not exciting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let's do something different because we have a whole slew of ideas. Christina said, yes, let's do it. So before we got on this call today, we tried, a few minutes before to talk about something else rather than sleep. Didn't go well. We had some breakdowns, some miscommunications, and that was all due to lack of sleep. And it was very apropos. So we said, you know what? Scratch any other ideas. We are talking about sleep because it impacts everything. You have to start with sleep. So I would just like to share with everyone that this week I've been trying to wake up early. I've been waking up early at like 4:30 with my boyfriend who wakes up at that time. I said, okay, I am a morning person, so this is going to be okay. The one thing that I didn't really take too much into account was getting those 8 hours of sleep that drive me. And with someone who has ADHD, I actually need sometimes 9 hours of sleep. I need a little bit more from my brain for its optimal function. Anything more than 9, I get a little groggy, which it has the reverse effect. Anyway, long story short, this whole week I've been waking up early. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my miracle morning, my morning routine, even earlier than usual. I'm going to knock out all of these tasks. And I'm fried. I'm absolutely fried. My stress level went up. My brain function is not the same. So I listened to this podcast today and they were saying, forget the 4:30 a.m. wake up. You need 8 hours of sleep. And Christina, I know we were talking, okay, you like waking up early. You get so much done, but you shift the time you go to bed and, it's whatever works for you as long as you're getting 8 hours of sleep.
Yep. And it should be, well, at least for me, and everybody's different. Some people can get different 8 hours of sleep and be okay, but I'm very like regimented and I need to be in bed by 9 so I can get up super early and feel productive no later than 6. But right now I'm all out of whack because my daughter's drop off is later. I'm sending her to a very awesome socially distanced summer camp and she's loving it, but I can't drop off till 8:30. So what that means is my workday starts almost 3 hours later than I'm used to it starting because working from home, I could start as early as 6 a.m. and it was wonderful. So now I have this 3 hour gap where I used to feel like I had accomplished a day's worth of work by noon. And just today I looked at the clock at 11 a.m. and I was like, I haven't done anything. And it stressed me out. And to the point where I couldn't even regulate. I was like, all right, we got to do this. We got to do this now. All right, keep it moving. Next thing, next thing, next thing. Trying to catch up and get a day's worth of work done by noon starting at 11. That's impossible. It's ridiculous. And it's going to make anyone feel anxious and unaccomplished.
Totally. And it's unhealthy. It's really unhealthy. And then you have those gut issues from the stress, and it's just it's not good, right, Joe?
That's so many thoughts. I was just thinking, and Christina, who was it that derailed this let's get to work and let's jump in and get stuff done by a certain time? It was this guy right here. This guy totally derailed that.
By the way, if the viewers didn't know, Christina and Joe happen to be working in the same office, same school. So they're together a lot more than I am with them.
Totally. So I absolutely crushed Christina's morning and was the immovable object that did not let her accomplish the things she wanted to accomplish.
That is
She's
not
like,
true.
go. And I'm like, but let's think about the wind.
I mean, like, what if an
Flowers.
asteroid came through this window? Can we not acknowledge that that could happen right now? I'm like, I can't talk about your asteroid right now. We gotta go.
Have you
So are you being Christina's time suck right here?
No.
That's what I was doing. I was like, let's consider the water. Have you ever considered water? Have you considered that we're water, but we're not? Like, we can go into water, but we're mostly And she's like, yo, I got this meeting. We got things to do. And I'm just, anyways. So another fun thing to drop in there. Not fun, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I think Brooke might have misrepresented where I was at this morning at like a bright and early morning reading the text message about sleep. I was totally team playing. I was like, dude, I don't get this. I don't think this is a good topic, but let's do it. I'm all in. Let's talk about sleep. So I want to make sure that that's out there for the record, for those people that are keeping track of these things, whoever is maintaining the record book.
In the record book, yeah, I was like, I'm all in because my sleep is all over the mess. All over the, yeah, see? All over the mess. I'm all over the mess.
All over the mess. We're all over the mess.
I can't even self-regulate. I just like leave meetings like that.
That happened, guys. That happened.
Guys, we are getting real with you today.
That was how our first attempt at this ended. Was with being like, did I do something? What happened? What did I say?
This might be some people's last episode of Morning Joe with Christina and Brooke.
Like, I'm listening to these people? I'm following these people?
If you haven't been able to notice, we haven't had much, except for Joe maybe. We haven't had much sleep this week.
No, Joe hasn't either.
He hasn't either. Okay. So this is the effect of not sleeping 8 hours a day every day.
And I think you guys crushed it. I think you guys crushed like the big things when it comes to sleep. That
Don't be a hot mess like us.
Yeah, exactly. That we all intuitively know, and that all the research tells us, all of the doctors tell us, like anybody that you speak to that knows about these things, who spend time looking into it, is that very few of us are getting the amount of sleep that we need, right? So we're not getting enough hours of sleep. And we manage though, right? Because we're human beings, so we adapt. And based on that, we create this new normal where it's like, yeah, it's normal to just slog around all day. It's normal to be tired at 3. It's normal to feel this anxiety. It's normal to feel angry at this moment. And it's not normal, but we're tenacious. We're human beings. We can thrive in the work. So we manage, and our new normal becomes just like, oh, I'm fine with 5 hours of sleep at night. I'm fine with 6 hours. When the reality is like, yeah, we're all different. Christina, you spoke to this. We all have different norms. We all have different needs. But generally speaking, like outside of those people that are in the margins, like, yeah, you got to be getting 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep. Like that's where your brain is functioning. That's where your body's recovering. You're getting that restful rest,
Exactly.
right? Not just the minimum shut-eye that you need for your brain to like not turn into mush and fall out of your ears.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I think though, like finding out what works for us and still having that fall within what we need to be well, whether you're that early morning person, which I'm not, you're that late person, which I tend to be. Like I'd love for my life to allow me to be up till 2:00 in the morning every night. Like that's when I do my best thinking. That's when I am like on fire. I'm like solving the world's problems.
Yeah.
But that can't happen if I'm also waking up at 5 or 6.
Exactly. And you're getting that second wave of energy, but you know, it's so funny. So you wake up early, you get a wave of energy, right? You're productive, and then you hit this like dip, right? And then all of a sudden you get this wave of second wind, but the long-term health effects are not good, right? And I love what you said, Joe, and I don't mean to cut you off, but you know, it starts with the nighttime. What are you doing to get that reliable sleep, right? So it's not just the 8 hours. You have to get reliable shut-eye. So, you know, turn your room into like a bat cave, turn it black, make sure all lights, even monitor lights, are away from you, right? In my ebook, How to Focus by Focus Your Time, 13 Ways to Be Productive, it talks about different ways to get into a sleep state. So there's so many ways that you can get yourself there that need to start before you try to go to sleep.
Yes, Joe.
Hey, loud.
Thank you. I was going to ask, I'm curious for each of you, because I know what it is for me. For each of you, what are the one or two things that when you're getting in those patterns, what are the one or two things that you can pick off, either change or get rid of, or something that you have to add that might not fix the problem by itself, but it goes a long way in setting up a better pattern? Like, what are they for you?
I don't take any electronics into my bedroom. So at night, my cell phone stays out in the kitchen, laptop is in the office. It's a distractor for me because if I wake up in the middle of the night, I want to be able to get back to sleep immediately. And if my phone's there, I'm like, oh, what's going on in email? And then my brain starts going and I'll just start working. And that is not good. Doesn't work out for me. I think I'm being more productive at first, right? But then I've learned over time, you are derailing. You need to be sleeping right now. There is no email emergency happening at 4 a.m. that you have to respond to immediately. So for me, it's making sure that electronics stay away from the bedroom.
For me, I would say not doing something very active right before I go to bed. You know, tennis,
Yeah.
or not working all the way up until the point where I'm too tired to continue working, because what ends up happening is maybe I'm tired, right? But then I wake up in the middle of the night. So I have to really shut my brain off at least an hour before I want to go to bed.
What about you, Joe?
Brooke actually nailed one of the ones I was thinking about. I've got like 3 or 4, but one of the ones that I've recently discovered is needing to have a little bit of a gap between the time that I close my laptop and the time that I intend on actually going to bed. Like, it can't be like, oh, I'm going to work. Oh, I'm done working. I'm closing it and I'm going straight to bed. That there's something in my brain that doesn't work well for. So it's shutting down the laptop and I have to do something mindless or restful. It could be exercise. It could be watching stupid YouTube videos. It could be just sitting on my couch in the dark and just sitting there, just listening to the silence, the lack of noise. But doing that for 15, 20, 30 minutes, that's the thing that for me, it impacts the pattern or the way that I get to sleep a little bit better and get better sleep.
And then turn off those notifications that you get.
You hear that? Well, that successfully on my phone unintentionally. I don't get text messages anymore. I have to look for them. It's kind of great, actually.
That's awesome.
Great.
That's great.
Oh, I have 27 of them. Okay.
So you schedule a time to go look at your phone. That's awesome. That digital distraction, and we can totally get into that at another point. Maybe we'll do that next week, but
Good
it's
idea.
distraction.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Joe, I'm sorry that you were a victim of my lack of sleep. I will come ready to hear the philosophies of the world.
If you ever do stop to think of the wind, it will kind of blow your mind a little bit. Like, it's a mind, but I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Love you guys. You guys are great.
See you
Bye,
next
everybody. See you next week.